Hello and welcome to video 3 in my 6-part manifestation mini-series. Just a reminder that all these videos are complementing my workbook, so if you haven't downloaded that, please go ahead and download it. It is so helpful and everything I'm saying references that workbook. So today's video is all about surrender. On the To Be Magnetic podcast, they talk about surrender as that kind of idea that you're melting into something higher. And they talk about how surrender is the idea of allowing things into your life as opposed to forcing and trying to make something happen. So we move from a force and controlling state into a more allowing and flowing state. It's the part where we're really understanding that we are co-creating with the universe. It is possible to manifest things without believing in the universe. However, it can feel really like you're just climbing uphill, like you're doing all the work. It's a struggle, it's stress, it leads to burnout, all these things because we're just trying. And in this manifestation process, the surrender piece, you are bringing back in the flow. You are bringing back the ease to life and reminding yourself that things don't have to be so hard. Now, it can be a little bit of a confusing concept to get your head around because sometimes people confuse surrender with things like caring or thinking about or things like that. So they might say, well, how can I surrender when, I really care about what I want to manifest? I really want it to happen. So how can I just not care and sort of not think about it? And the thing that I want to say is it's not about not caring. It's about caring, but trusting that what you want is possible and can happen for you and will happen in the divine timing. This world, this universe is so big and things can happen in ways that we can't even imagine. So it's almost a sense of giving up that sense of control and the idea that something needs to happen now. And when you think of the word surrender, you might get a sort of like a release. Like for me, it's that kind of phew. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm surrendering. I'm giving up the control. I'm handing things over to the universe. And I'm just allowing the situation to play out. And it's actually an incredible place to be in because you feel so light. It doesn't feel so heavy and attached to the thing that you really, really want to call in. And why do we need surrender in manifestation? So when we're in a surrendered state, we really have the ability just to be present and to be able to enjoy what we have now. And when we can focus on now and enjoying now, that actually raises our vibration and therefore we become really magnetic. Because if we're here now, say, and then we're constantly thinking about the thing we want to call in, which is say over there, we are not in a surrendered state because we are constantly thinking about the thing over here, which puts us in a lack state now and means that our vibration is actually low. Because all we're doing is thinking about how much we want that thing and what it's going to give us, and my life would be so much better when I have this thing. And can you see how actually being in that vibration is not going to be a magnetic state for that thing to come in? When you're in a surrendered state, it's like, I know what I want, I've got clear on what I want, and I'm trusting that the universe will bring that thing from over here and draw it closer to me. And I'm just going to focus on now. I'm going to focus on being present. I'm going to focus on being happy. I'm going to stay strong and in my knowing and trusting that that thing is for me. And that is a much more magnetic way for this thing to be pulled towards you and attracted to you. And the big one, how to surrender. So I remember speaking to one of my clients about this, and she was sort of saying, I don't understand how to surrender. Like, how can I surrender? I don't know what I need to do. And I said to her, it's funny because there's not this big surrender secret that, you have to do this one magic thing and then all of a sudden you're surrendered and the thing comes to you like immediately. That doesn't exist. Surrender is actually just becoming aware of how you're feeling and taking conscious action within the moment to bring you into a more surrendered state. Now, I'm going to give you an example, as usual, because it might be helpful to understand. When I was looking for jobs in London, I've already spoken about this in other videos, but essentially I was looking and applying, and I didn't have the clarity because I was all over the place on what I was looking for, but I also was trying so hard. I was trying to force the job situation. But actually, once I got my clarity piece and I shut my laptop lid and I put it away, that action just there is almost communicating directly to the universe, saying, I'm leaving it with you. I trust you. I trust that whatever is meant for me is not going to pass me by. I know what I want. It's for good intentions. This is for my greater good, and therefore I trust that it's coming to me. And it's in that moment that you become so magnetic, and that is when my jobs came to me. Now, if we are really struggling to let go, to surrender, to trust the universe, then it means that we are overly attached to the thing that we are calling in some way. Now, I'm going to go into that in just a second and what that kind of means. But in order to not be so attached to the thing we want, we need to draw it back to today. What is going to bring us joy in this moment? And that could be going for a walk. It could be going to watch a sunset. It could be phoning a friend. It's doing something for you. Make yourself a lovely meal. Do something that is self-care, that brings that feeling of warmth and love and joy and happiness. Even if it's the smallest thing, by doing that, you are actually bringing yourself back into the present moment, which means you are diverting yourself back to now. So rather than all the focus being on the thing and the manifestation and what you're attached to, you're diverting and you're bringing it back to now. You're bringing it back to you, which means we're present and we're not trying to force the thing that we are so attached to. We're not trying to force the manifestation to happen. Now, what to do if you are finding yourself being really attached to the thing that you really want? So like I was saying, this means that you feel like the manifestation is going to give you something. It's going to give you a feeling that you're not experiencing at the moment. So a relationship, for example, perhaps you feel like a relationship is going to mean you're more lovable, means you're going to have somebody to do things with, means that you can actually move on to the next phase of your life. And until you have that, you're almost stuck where you are. A job, for example. Maybe when you get the job you want, you'll finally feel seen. You'll be seen as more respected, taken more seriously. You'll feel successful and you'll feel that you're more appreciated. When you have a certain level of finances, maybe you'll feel then that you're, again, more successful. And perhaps you feel like you'll have more control over your life. So these things are things you really want to make note of and just write them down in my manifestation workbook in the notes section, because these are things, can you see that underneath the manifestation, you are actually wanting something deeper. There's a deeper need that wants to be met. You want to feel successful, you want to feel appreciated, you want more control over your life. And these things are actually things that you can give yourself now. It's actually in our minds, and it's the stories that we create that actually we think that the manifestation, the thing we want, the money, the job, the relationship, we think that is going to give ourselves what we want. But actually, we can give ourselves those things now. And how we do this is actually going to be in the next steps of the manifestation process. So we are on step 3 at the moment. This is going to be coming in the later stages, steps 4 and 5. So that is everything with surrender. I hope this is helpful. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me or drop a comment down below. And just another thing, if you are here watching these videos, if you're enjoying them or you're getting any value from them, please, if you could like and subscribe to this channel, that would be amazing. It really just helps a small channel like mine that's starting out on the big YouTube adventure. So thank you so much and take care.